Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3, where for some reason the video game thinks we're going to lose 3 units of high-level Chaos Warriors to some zombies and garbage. This does not seem terribly likely to me. I am thinking we might go ahead and do a Seduce here, because we certainly have the money. It's not like we're having money problems now, and this, an extra unit of 90 bodies will certainly help cushion. You know what? Yeah, let's do it. Let's go ahead and take one. And then let's get in here and... Oh, that saves one of the units of Marauders. Yeah, let's get in here and do this manually and probably just not even use those units. I may have them withdraw from the battle immediately, frankly. Yeah, all of the really low health ones. Because, like, we're not going to need Chaos Warriors for this. So to be clear, in case you're unfamiliar, because these are units we haven't fought yet in this campaign. Skeletons, terrible melee combatants. Skeletons, but this time with spears, still garbage. Zombies, somehow actually worse. Crypt ghouls, kind of sort of okay some of the time. And then these ones are spooky Grim Reapers with big sides. These are neat. They're ethereal, so they are resistant to a lot of physical damage, but they also just do not have much going for them in the way of like actual health or defenses. You get past that ethereal damage resistance, and they're pretty simple. Okay, Death Ascendancy. That seems, sort of stacked against us, given, but... okay, so my feeling here is that these 3 units are more or less going to be able to handle this. Honestly, there's probably a lot is going to get done there. But it's a good idea to have some chariots or whatever. The Marauders in front to receive, not charges exactly, but whatever. They're gonna have to, this terrain is like super weird. Yeah, and then I guess our ranged units should be present, probably. Okay, seems good to me. Y'all just go ahead and retire. Take this one easy.
Victims for the slaughter. Indulge yourself.
Where am I? I'm gonna have these things get out in front, actually. So, the spooky ghost wraith things. They have actually very, very poor HP. It's just that they have that physical damage resistance. So we're gonna use spells here a little bit. I'm hoping I can get a couple of them a couple of the units together. There are 2 on this side, but one of them is lost in the trees for the moment. God, I wish we had like any real ranged units. Let's take her across this way. Let's see if we can catch these 2 units. Because it kind of seems like the enemies are not actually all that eager to come in here. And that's fine, I get that. I wouldn't want to charge in this situation either. They're going to get ripped to pieces. Okay, let's just go ahead and deliver a classic one of these.
I see. I can't stop.
It's pretty good.
Onward then. Moving.
The Demon Prince.
Have our Demon Prince go over and say howdy to their Necromancer, who is not really a very special kind of, literally just an old guy who knows magic.
Pleasure. I seek.
Okay, here comes the wave.
I can't stop. Slanish is allures.
So we're like 5 seconds off of being able to cast again. I think we are just going to go ahead and commit. No reason to wait on that. You lot are probably going to have to actually change sides here. Didn't I tell you to withdraw? Aren't all of these units supposed to be withdrawing? Are they actually off the... Oh, here's part of the problem. Chaos Warriors. It takes them 6,000 years to do anything. Right. I think we just stand and let them approach. I am going to pull these units back here because I'm not exactly sure how I want them to deploy. Let's get the Keeper of Secrets out here to munch these guys up real fast, and maybe just like step out to the sides so that the flank is easier when it's time to flank. ashes and dust is available. What does this do? It's just damage. It's just like a very... Oh, okay. It's 10 seconds of literally nothing, then one big pulse of damage. I mean, this seems like a pretty good place to drop it to me. This unit's moving forward in a way that suggests that it probably will not still be inside the circle. But it's fine. Alright, so they're already surrendering because that's what they do. You're just going to run through some what do you call it? Some non-spear units. Okay, they're doing something. They're trying. Here's another problem with these wraiths. Their morale is garbage.
Repulse.
So it is actually very, very easy to get them to surrender.
Delightful.
Go help with this. He thinks he's getting away. I didn't know that my blue horrors had such a good Donald Duck impression in them.
Seekers. Demonette of Slanesh.
Go get them.
Demonette of Slanesh.
I don't necessarily need my cavalry troops to be in on the enemy spears, but also it seems to be working out fine.
Attack!
Because to be honest with you, these are bad spears. These are pretty weak spear troops. Oh, the Chaos Furies survived Wow. I don't think we've ever seen our Chaos Furies actually survive combat with an enemy unit before. So it just didn't even occur to me that it might occur. Just do one of these, because these enemies are grouped up nice and tight. And then, yeah, I should probably have done that prior to this point in the battle. Yeah, this should be fine. I know they're anti-large, but like, you know, not really.
Power of an immortal!
Actually, that's hardly worth doing. But those are the only... Okay, never mind. Battle's over. So, undead units, when they get low on morale, just disintegrate on the battlefield. And, you know, we have units that kind of do that. But undead units do it even faster. Okay, that went about the way I thought it was going to go. It's possible that I should have had Iglixis descend on some things in the front and just have the chariot take care of the necromancer, because obviously, like, Iglixis's health is relatively low value. We can afford to take an awful lot of damage. He heals up real quick. But this was fine too. And it was nice to have the crypt ghouls too, just absorb the initial charge so that we really took very little. One thing that I'm not sure of, and I could know this by just knowing the count of the bodies in our army. Do disappearances or do losses from the seduced units appear in our losses bar? Because they shouldn't, right? But they totally might. And if that's not happening, then it's very hard for me to imagine we actually lost 88 bodies. Okay, very little money there, not a big surprise. That's not a real army. Okay, the Dwarves of Krakadrak have been properly destroyed. The Ice Court has headed back to Slanish Town. Sure. From there to get, what do you call it? From there to get some more of those great deals. The Great Icon of Despair. That is an interesting banner. Yeah, you stick that on a durable melee unit, that is potentially compelling. Alright, base weapon damage plus 20 for everyone. It's pretty okay. Let's start with Iglixis.
Prince.
So, actually, our bar filled up a fair amount there. There are no, like... Camera, play along. So there aren't really... Oh, there's an event location over here. Move your lord here and you'll receive a weapon of the blood god. I would love to do that. Is that the only place? No, so there's an event over here as well. But there are no event locations on this side. Okay, well, I think it's pretty obvious that we gotta sort of slow roll it just a little bit here because I do need to go into replenishment mode. Let us encamp here in hell. Yeah, we need that health very badly.
Serve chaos.
And our global recruitment pool can offer us some things in a single turn. What do we want? So right now we have 7 units of normal melee, but a lot of them are not actually usable. Like we need to maybe bring in another unit of melee just to give our other units of melee some time to survive. And I'm not allowed to do allied recruitment here, right? Okay.
Join the ruinous crusade.
Yeah, I might just pull in a unit of spear marauders, because then we can do a combine potentially. Let's do that. We'll fill up with that. Okay, and Iglixis will go all the way back to full, which is super cool. So we do have Dmitry Raskin, not in great shape, but the only thing Falco might actually have to worry about here. Okay, embarrassing work. Alright, good news is, Alas is definitely actually going to get immortal. So shall we just run out there and crush them? It looks like we probably have enough movement to pursue them even after they retreat.
No higher power than I.
And it's very difficult to imagine this army beating us, although 7 elemental bears is probably still going to do some real damage. Yeah, let's just go knock them out.
Attack them.
And we have enough movement for the pursuit. Alright, we'll do it manually. I would absolutely have taken an auto-resolve that kills none of our units. But if they're going to make me work for it, fine. It is worth noting that like 4 of those bears are on extremely low health and could be killed very, very quickly. But the Ice Court here does actually have the range advantage in that they have a cannon and we don't. So we are definitely on approach. And we really don't... This army does not have nearly the amount of anti-large that Iglixis does. It's good to have your armies be specialized in different ways. It's just unfortunate that this particular battle is going to go the way it's going to go.
Greater demon.
So they don't have a ton of traditional ranged, right? Oh, no, they... Okay, you know what? No, they only have 4. For some reason... Looking at it from back here, it looks like a much larger percentage of their units have ammo bars. But yeah, they just have 4 badly damaged ranged units, which is absolutely something we can deal with. I'm probably not going to use the Seekers. We're just going to keep them out of the battle entirely because they desperately need to heal. Yeah, and then this army's like very straightforward. It's pretty much just run forward. So we are going to have to do, unfortunately, just like a naked approach here. All right, let's have all of this army approach on this side. Flyers up. You lot over here. You approach behind the infantry. You two get, and you two also run up to here, probably for the moment. This battle map is definitely more favorable to a ranged army starting on this side because the approach vectors are so narrow. What is the range on a great big infernal gateway? It's actually pretty long. It's like one of those right here would not, I think, go amiss. And yeah, we can cast that from well outside of enemy range. Do some real damage to the one healthy ranged unit they have. But they're not trying to move out of that at all. Okay, well, we did max out the Reign of Chaos bar. What does this do? Interesting. So a big speed boost and a big reduction in vigor loss for the entire army. I had to say, I don't think it's necessarily great in this position. Are we about to be in range? Yeah, we're getting close. Okay. I'm gonna do this. I think at least some of their ranged units will turn around, is all I'm thinking here. Nope, looks like I was wrong.
My move is changed.
The Chaos Furies actually did almost kill the cannon crew. I don't know, just throw the heal up over here, I guess. Shoot this bear with a magic missile and see if it does enough damage. It did. It did, in fact. Okay. They're keeping a bear in reserve to protect the cannon crew, which I think is very not good play on their part, and we are going to make them suffer for it. And let's make the ranged focus up one bear at a time. I think I'm going to disregard the other enemies for the moment. Let's just lowest health bear over and over again until the job is done. This has a cooldown of only 19 seconds. Okay. I'm also gonna lock this bear in place real quick here. You know what? Kill these ranged units. Let's do that instead.
Make them scream. Delicious.
Hunt them down!
I love that little diving roll that Minotaurs do. This poor bear. It does kind of seem like our Lord is getting his ass kicked by archers without really, yeah, there's nothing else going on over here, just dying, straight up dying in combat with archers. Okay, well, disengage. I thought he'd be able to handle that at least, given his stats, but apparently too much to hope for. Spear unit. Try to focus on the bear. Not getting hit from behind. Yeah, okay, we're doing our best. Don't think it really makes sense to do another Infernal Gateway. The enemies, I don't think, are bunched up tightly enough. Damn Ice Guard. Alright, which bear's getting the magic missiles? One of these two. Probably doesn't actually matter which.
Skyways!
Wow, I like almost entirely missed.
Torture sweet kiss.
Greater demon! Our feet!
Try it again. Okay, Soul,
Flutter and
Soul Grinder not quite getting as much done as I would like there. I gotta say, I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised at exactly how much trouble we have had clearing out these bears. Not that I thought it was going to be trivial or anything, but criminy.
Hard rot bag.
You lot, turn around and help with this. You also give them the blue fire.
Demonettes!
You can still afford to cast a great big heal. There we go. Great big overcast heal. I think that will actually work. Even though the battle is officially in end state.
Is truth.
Yeah, big area heal seems like a really, really valuable thing to have. Which is why it costs 10 million winds of magic. So yeah, that was definitely, we took significantly more damage there than I was expecting. But no more Ice Court armies for a little while at least. So we filled up, it looks to me like we're at 40% of the bloodlust that we need, maybe. And we got that from one fight with a real army and one fight with an extremely fake army. But I guess I don't actually know how bloodlust is counted. If it is the case that you generate a meter for like every enemy body that you drop, then actually that army of zombies and stuff would have been extremely valuable, and the gain from that might not be replicable with any of the other armies we may face out here. Okay, we're doing very well on money. Turns out you need to get back home immediately because you got real torn up during that fight. It's embarrassing. It's a tiny bit embarrassing. All right, even more income.
A new phase begins.
Okay, so we just hit Arcane Conduit. What else do we want? You could become a locus of some kind. I mean, I feel like we should. I feel like locus of fecundity makes sense. And I'm still not really interested in upgrading anything here. How's the Forbidden Citadel doing? Okay, we have the population for the upgrade next turn, and we'll have the money for it too if we can just win one more battle in Hellworld out there. I don't know why that's Hellworld when this is the place where most of the demons are. It sounds judgmental. I do apologize. It does sound a little bit like I am saying I'm too good for the realm of the Demon Prince. Granted, I'm only saying that because I legitimately am, but it's still a, as they say, a bad look. Oh god, look at all these hostile forces that are in the Ice Court's lands at the same time. And with the Tsarina in one of the demon realms. Perhaps it is foolish, but I have actual hope here. I think we might, as a group, get something done. Maybe. We certainly at least have a chance. Unfortunately, we probably do have to put Falco back in friendly settlement for a few turns. It's just like a lot of replenishment. I can't believe that one ogre general is just named Odor. Like, I get it. I get it as far as it being a being an ogre-y name. It's just, it's so lazy. We really still don't have a good understanding of exactly what it is that's going on up in the Chaos Wastes up there. It seems kind of like it's just the Siege factions against everybody. Except also, it seems like many of them don't like each other either. Are the Bjornlings still distracted with Marienburg stuff? The Greylings don't even have an army, it looks like.
All other lives are brief and pitiful again.
I am not gonna take a pact with you. Because the thing is, I suspect you might attack Black Gulch, and I want to be free to punish you if you do so. Wouldn't that be neat? Wouldn't that be neat if they just kind of like ran through and solved all of our problems for us? I will say, I'm a little surprised. I kind of assumed that like a demon prince was going to be a pretty rare thing, but it seems like there's a ton of them. And the dude leading that rogue army is obviously one as well.
Demon Prince.
I was over here feeling special. Truly embarrassing. Okay, a Madri Iron Bar. So we don't exactly know what your deal is, and that does make me a little nervous.
Lives fallen champion. Dark destiny awaits.
Just take our short encampment mode move, and I think what I'm gonna do is merge these 3 units together.
Magnificent.
Just roll the new guys into the thing here. So now our army's in pretty good shape. Maybe we don't even have to be in replenishment mode. I could merge the chaos the chaos warrior units as well. Well, we need to at the very least fill the open slot in the army, right? We could pull another monster or something. If we're potentially going to be fighting a force of trees, I guess I'd want just another unit of spears.
I require further thralls.
Okay, at this point we can see. Oh, okay, interesting. It's 5 forest dragons, and then a lot of dryads and tree cannon, which are large infantry. So anti-large definitely still of some value here. I assume... Yeah, it looks like he can attack us. I assume he's going to run over and attack us immediately, because it seems like everybody here is a little bit overtaken by the bloodlust, you know? Can't imagine why that might be. Okay, so we did not actually get the money together. We're just going to have to wait. I'm going to leave a lass up here. Actually, you know what? Should we close this rift? Maybe. I'm trying to select... There we go. You, though, definitely come down here and get us some vision. Well, it looks devoid of Kislevites, which is good news. We probably just want to close that portal rather than letting a demon army come through with the intention of fighting it for actual rewards for Falco, or letting it try to take Blood Gulch, right? Because it's way more likely that they're just going to be a huge pain in the ass. So if we do get attacked by that big tree army, I'm debating whether we would just want to have the Chaos Warriors run out again. I do want to keep those high-ranking Chaos Warriors around, especially since it is actually relatively expensive for us to hire in more. Yeah, and units that are durable against ranged fire are particularly valuable for us, given the way that the Kislevite army roster works. So yeah, I guess we would probably just have them fall back out of the battle immediately again. For a certain value of immediately. Yep, once again, nobody likes the Siege armies. We're starting to see a lot of what looks like maybe vampiric corruption spreading west down there. So the ground is dark all the way past Dietershafen. Maybe that's chaos corruption. It's kind of hard to tell, actually. But I mean, whatever. If the vampires are doing well, that also suits us just fine. And as we've just seen, should it come to it, I think we'd probably do okay against an undead army. Okay, the Taint of Corn. Control down, leadership aura size down is a little bit more annoying.
Prince.
So...
Presents no challenge.
I mean, if we want the weapon, we're going to have to kill him, right? May as well just go to it. But if I'm not going to be able to reach the event area anyway. I guess if I do this,
Conquest.
even if they do run at us, we'll get replenishment at the beginning of our turn after they attack us, and then next turn we will definitely have enough movement to make it here, even if we do have to attack them first. Alright, you're gonna sit for one more turn. Cran, I don't really want Cran to go anywhere from here. This is where I want vision. So I am gonna have a last shut this. It's a shame we didn't get it done before the enemy came through. But let's at least not have to deal with it anymore. And we're not actually making any money. Did not think this was going to be the problem with this upgrade. It's alright. I'm sure the trees have lots of money on them. So, when fighting the trees, we have a couple of major concerns. Obviously, dragons are dragons, and that's dangerous. Any flying unit, of course, always dangerous, but dragons being very powerful anti-melee flyers, or anti-infantry flyers, and then on top of that, having a breath weapon that they can fire from the skies is going to be a little scary. But beyond that, we still have to worry about the Treekin. I don't think Treekin are great units necessarily, but they can still do a lot of damage. They're relatively vulnerable to flanks and stuff. If I remember correctly, their leadership is not super great. And, you know, nobody likes to be hit in the back by a unit of Heartseekers. But we're going to have to, make sure that we do that, because they are going to deal actual, real, serious damage to any melee infantry unit that tries to just stand in front of them. One thing that is nice about spear troops, and a lot of anti-large troops, but particularly spear and polearm troops, is that they tend to have very high defense relative to, you know, like axe or sword units. So hopefully, even though I don't necessarily think our spear troops are going to do a ton of damage to the enemy, to the treekin, even though treekin are large, I do think there's a pretty good chance that they at least don't get totally mulched immediately, which is good. You don't want to feed the root structure of an enemy like that. God, do the Bjornlings and the Greylings even have a full stack between them? Well, the Greylings are trying at least. Which honestly is more than you can say for the Bjornlings. You know, old Eddie Doomfoe. What kind of demon is a foe of doom, I ask you? Seems like exactly the opposite of their job. Okay, well, at least that's not exactly a terrifying force. I think we're going to see both that Chaos Army and the Rogue Army right near it just sort of harmlessly circle around each other and the Gulch. Whereas we know damn well they would come right at it if it was a settlement that we owned. You know, it'll let me have the auto-resolve without losing any units. I might just take this, because, like, let's get a move on here. I'm not going to... Well, you know, we may as well seduce something. We do know the auto-resolver takes this into account.
Show them the true face of chaos.
Because, yeah, we're gonna get super paid out of this battle anyway.
Father for hungry.
So yeah, I don't know if that's 100% ideal, but it at least saves us some real-world time. I love Slaanesh factions.
Reigns.
Alright, we are absolutely going back to normal movement mode. Let's get a fancy weapon. Scar's Kraken Killer. This blade of scales with a sharkskin hilt was born from the deeps by a Norskin reaver in an age long past. I mean, okay, it's not terrible. 20 melee attack, 250 piercing weapon damage. Ooh. Okay, that's interesting. So that doesn't have a limited number of charges, huh? It's just 120 seconds. You know what's weird? It doesn't have a duration listed. Oh, and when you do that, all damaged units are fully replenished. Okay. The skull of the first glowers high above Khorne's realm. Indeed it does. Deep within its eye socket is a shard of the weapon that killed the first. Such a blade would surely be one of the greatest in all of creation. Well, I mean, okay, it's not exactly... It's no chainsword. But fine, I'll take it. So we're gonna have to go and get in at least one more big fight. But it seems like nobody's pressuring us. I wonder if we could just grab another one. It seems like we could come down here, fight this army, lizardmen it looks like, and then just get another replenishment, right? And you know what? I think it is time to advance. Yeah, I'm just gonna go all the way forward. Y'all are just embarrassing. Embarrassing is what you are. Okay. It's just gonna be another 50 turns before we can hire the unit we want.
You may touch me only in dreams.
I mean, I'm just gonna have a last watch over them. I don't think we should actually, like, do anything here. Oh, I didn't check to see if the weapon we just picked up was one-handed or two-handed. Because it's possible that it's a one-handed sword that we could equip a shield or something.
Remember who it is you...
No, I'm good. You know, I was sort of thinking there we don't need more people to potentially come and attack us. But I guess I probably should have looked at exactly where that faction is, because it's possible that that was just free money that I turned down there if they're really far away. Then again, we also do know that sometimes enemy armies that are at war with us will sail a very, very long way out of their way just to get a little bit of that spite. There's nothing the AI player finds sweeter. Okay, so it seems like for the most part, like if you look at the balance of power bar there, the Ice Court is still represented as being a fair bit more powerful than we are, but it seems like their forces are just kind of like separated. There's a lot going on and they can't run 7 armies directly at us right at this moment. So yeah, we'll ride out and do some bodily harm. I have very high hopes. Maybe unrealistically high for what Falco is going to be able to accomplish. So it seems pretty clear from the way we've seen enemy armies, or AI player armies move around and stuff, that the arrows indicating intent are indicating sort of like a longer term, I don't want to say long term, but maybe medium term is fine, idea of what they'll be doing. Because we have seen armies move directly the opposite direction from where the arrow is pointing and stuff. So, I don't know, it's still useful, but it definitely feels like the AI is still a little bit too opaque to be relied on in any way, even if you have given them a specific request that you have spent actual currency on, which is kind of a bummer. That looked like a battle. I didn't actually see what the outcome was. It kind of seemed like the demon army disappeared, so I guess they were defeated, maybe? I mean, that's pretty silly. Maybe the Black Gulch's garrison got really built up? It would seem like a weird thing to do. But yeah. Oh man, Black Gulch is so vulnerable right now. Do it, Baleful Prince. You know you want to. It's free for the taking. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, interesting. It didn't actually equip it. It said it equipped it. Oh, you can't equip normal weaponry. Oh, sorry. No, it just wouldn't be in here, maybe? No, you just cannot equip a weapon that we get in any other way. Okay, well, that's very interesting. So
Urson is weak.
we could give it to Viditus, probably. Am I allowed to do that? Yes. So it would give her a regeneration ability. Makes her melee attack super high, but her whole thing is kind of charging anyway and then using her charge bonus as a way of getting attacks off. I think what I'm going to do is actually give this to Falco.
Chaos incarnate.
So you all should just
Serve
do... Yeah, normal mode, move down here. Try to stay out of range of this army.
You see.
Do I want to give it to Falco? Maybe it's actually better to give it to the Plague Ridden. Your melee stats are not quite what I would like them to be either. Oh, you're not wearing gear. Okay, yeah. Let's give you stuff. Is the shield the best armor we have? We have a bunch of dragon helms. Everybody's always dropping dragon helms. +5 armor. An enchanted shield is probably better than +5 armor. Damage reduction is somewhat, in my opinion, outscaled by, like, flat armor-based damage reduction. Somewhat outscaled by the ability to just not get hit in the first place. Gosh, we have a lot of spell resistance materials. I'll give you that Wand of Jet so that we can have a little bit more in the way of Winds of Magic. And you're just, like, not equipped, so this stuff can only go on Lords. Yeah, alright, whatever. That's fine. Experience gain up? Sure. Line of sight? Sure. This doesn't really do anything. These specific faction zealots seem quite bad. Is there anything here that I would want to unequip? Yeah, the Master Painter's not actually very good. And I kind of think I actually would like that banner. Yeah, that's a lot of leadership loss that we can force on our enemies there.
A wise choice. And their existence.
Actually, before you arrive, assault the garrison. Hooray!
I am ready.
Oh, there's a tiny... I can't quite. Okay, well that's fine. I'm gonna step back away from it just a little bit then. So I don't know if an army should just materialize out here somehow. We don't have to deal with them getting the garrison as backup. And I guess I'm just gonna pull you back. There's no longer a demon army for you to track, so we'll just try to kill some Kislevite agents.
Pleasure.
I'm gonna have her ride out here and attack these things just for XP, more than anything. Alright, I reckon we're gonna get attacked again in the Chaos Realm here, and I'm really hoping it's gonna provide enough, bloodshed, bloodlust, blood bar. You know, blood for the blood bar. For us to be able to engage the Demon Prince. Maybe on our next turn? Oh, I mean, we gotta heal up first, but without having to get into another big fight, at least. Although I guess whether or not we need the blood bar, we're probably getting into that other fight anyway. Because there is that army that is directly between us and the Demon Prince thing. No, I'm good. Yep, another turn of that huge Slaneshi army just not helping anyone in any way at all, including themselves. They have not exactly been valuable allies. Oh. Alas, got dropped. It is possible that we have allowed them to acquire too great of an agent density around our own settlement there. So I think even if Falco is able to take whatever this fort near us is called, this is probably just like a sack and raise situation. Since it's not like it's not only not the major settlement of its province, but it's so far away from the major settlement of its province that it's probably not even useful for staging. I just don't know that I think owning it is going to be very useful without at least having the major settlement. So yeah, we'll just grab some cash, use it to construct some upgrades, and then get the heck out of here. It does seem like that generic Chaos Warriors army is actually doing very well. It's probably the case that it's using types of units that just perform super well in the auto-resolve, because heavy infantry does tend to do quite well. Okay, I'm sure that's gonna come at a cost. It's not gonna let me seduce anything, huh? Okay, so this is definitely a monster-heavy army. They got a bunch of Dragon Ogre Shaggoths, which are absolutely huge, and then a bunch of these units of smaller Dragon Ogres, which are only normal huge. And then just a ton of Sauruses. I hate fighting Sauruses. They survive forever, man. So it's a ton of units with spears. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of the amount of large stuff that we're having to deal with here. There's absolutely nothing we can do about it, but we'll just have to be careful how we apply the soul grinders. I do wish that I felt this army had a little bit more single target magic. I mean, we have the stuff where we can bomb out people's melee defense, but this is an interesting one. Well, I guess just start battle and then realign. And I'm gonna create a wall, actually, right here. You'll guard against the flank, and then we'll put lots of people just kind of inside of the pocket. This army has actually no ranged attacks, so I can have a Glixus fly over. Just wait and see if they panic and do something weird.
A place of conquest.
We have in the past managed to convince enemies to do some things that are not optimal for them on behalf of chasing one of our flying units around. This seems very unsanitary to me. Guess they're a little camera shy?
Repositioning.
Yeah, if we could get something large to separate itself. You know, if we get a Shaggoth to back off or something, I would have gladly put a Glixus down against any single one of their monsters. I certainly don't want to get grouped up on, and then also attacked with spears. So this is what a Dragon Ogre looks like. It's not great. And then, for comparison, there's your Shaggoth. These lizard things are approximately human man-sized, maybe like plus 20%. So yeah, they come up about to the knees maybe on a Shaggoth. It's just a bad time. Well, it doesn't look to me like they're gonna try that flank, so let's see if we can get you to actually move over fast enough for it to matter.
Spearmen! Drinking pain!
Alright, let's go drink some pain real quick.
Evisceration! Power of an immortal!
Alright, I am going to Chaos Fury right here just to try to slow down the spear troops. Keep them from approaching our Lord's backside too quickly. So yeah, I can't imagine, even though these units are specifically anti-large, and look at their fancy spears. Also, look at it's just, they're gonna get totally wrecked, right? We need to help them out as best we can. So, I think what I'm gonna do with the cavalry units is have them flank all the long way around here. Hold on, sorry. Get over here. Then do something like this. Yep, that's exactly how that should go. Brilliant. While the Soul Grinders can do more of like a direct approach here. And the Keeper's Secrets we want to be fairly careful about. We don't want the Keeper's Secrets getting attacked directly. You have 83 speed. You might also... Oh, wait, actually, sorry. We're going to need some people over here. I have the Beast of Nurgle come poison this, but I actually am going to keep the Soul Grinders on this side.
If I die,
Okay, not super effective, it turns out. Lizard men, just really tough. The good news is Dragon Ogres are not super good at defense. We are getting some real damage in. These Chaos Furies are not long for this world. You can see even against the normal Chaos Warriors, they're suffering pretty badly. I guess they only have 32 attack. I thought they were much better killers than this. They don't have great charge bonus either. Maybe I overestimated the threat that this battle is going to pose to us. So yeah, y'all get around here to perform some flanking maneuvers, and I guess this unit of Chaos Warriors can kind of like get over here and get ready to help contain when one of these units breaks, because it is probably going to happen.
onward then.
Alright, let's get over here and inflict some flanking.
I seek.
Keeper of secrets.
Y'all need to not get caught on each other so much.
Faster, quicker. Their flesh is my canvas. The darkest desires.
Alright, so some of the units of spears are indeed having some difficulty. Iglixis is taking some damage, it's not a big deal. Yep, units of Dragon Ogres are breaking all over the place, but we are suffering some real losses on our infantry, which I suppose is not a huge shock. I'm gonna try to pull away from these spears before they actually get all the way committed in on us. And then, like... This, I guess, is where you can start filling in. Because the spear unit is actually having a lot of trouble. And beyond that, spellcasting, right? I'm trying to have them attack the Sauruses. There we go. I had moved them around to pick up the dragon ogres, but it just doesn't seem like it's gonna matter. Do I want to do a Phantasmagoria just for the leadership penalty? I kind of think so. So we can get a lot of their units with it. And it seems like it's already pretty easy to get the dragon ogres to give up. So why don't we just push on that a little bit more? Gehenna's Golden Globe. That sounds like bad news. Ah, a wind spell. We haven't actually gotten to use these. But this will be an interesting opportunity for it. So, these work a little bit like the teardrops, except they're just like a corridor of deadly magic. Try to minimize friendly fire here. Spear troops are having a bit of a rough go of it, though. Yeah, okay. Beast of Nurgle is mostly serving to poison large enemies so that they're easier for Eglixis to fight, and it does seem to be mostly working. That Shaggoth is ready to give up, so we can just start ignoring it. I'm gonna have the Keeper of Secrets run around here, I think. And you... We actually have a pretty decent slicing shards target here. It's a lot of enemies. Heartseekers got in at exactly the worst possible moment. That's my bad. A quick storm of fire could get real easy to hit friendlies. Jeez. Large strike area indeed. Well, the enemy army is basically surrendered at this point. I think a lot of these things are going to run backwards into this area, so... definitely blew up my own units. Don't love this thing having gotten through like that, but we're not really in a position to punish it. Yeah, we need more units on this side, more of the big stuff. I'm doing an okay job of collapsing the battle lines over here, but we need to...
Closer!
We need to get through.
Walking! Locomotion! Our dance continues! Take their minds!
Okay, there we go. I'll take it. That's a surrender. I definitely did not manage that as well as I could have. Nobody's dead, though. I mean, you know, no entire units are dead. There are some people who might be a tiny bit dead. So yeah, just an army of low damage, tough things. I think is probably... It's not a huge problem for us. We're much worse at dealing with things that can actually output damage. Because, like, I could have left Chaos Warriors up against Lizard Men all day long. They're just never going to do any damage to each other. And then we get the cavalry charges. And in theory, I guess this enemy army could pull off some cavalry stuff, but First of all, I don't know if the AI is very good at that. And secondly, we had enough spear troops that it would at least be, it would be a little bit of a challenge. Only 2,200 favor. Rough. I wonder if we're at a full bar yet. The fact that we didn't actually do enough damage to this army to wipe it out due to the units in it having low enough leadership that they fled early might turn out to be really good for us because we can get another battle's worth of bar out of them. How is the Putrid Swarm Army going to spawn near a city and then just sail off into the distance? Alright, picking up more stuff. Garrison commander is fine, I guess. We don't do a lot of defending.
Prince.
Okay, yeah. It does look like we are cool to go. May as well finish wiping you out, though.
Revel in this ruinous crusade.
And we can take a victory that is as ugly as we want, because we're also going to do this.
Ruinous crusade.
Stop. Okay. We found the chainsword. Okay, I was gonna say, I was waiting for the notification. So, this army does exist. It is in the way. I wonder if we could... No, we're not gonna be able to get close enough to dash over to this thing without having to deal with them, are we? We could try an ambush mode move. See if we can just...
On hell-sent foot.
May as well give it a shot. Because it would be great if we could not have to deal with that.
Of change.
Pyrrhic victory. Let's assign this banner to... Yeah, just some unit that's going to be able to stay in melee. And then, you know what? I'm going to take the Pyrrhic here just for the just to get it done. And yeah, that's a fair amount of money.
You steal our pleasures from us.
Like I said, holding on to that was unlikely to, okay, that's another 20,000. Well, we're rich. Actually, holding on to that settlement was very unlikely to yield anything of value for us, but that is a lot of money.
A new phase begins.
Am I allowed to burn it down after... No, you can only occupy after sacking. Well, we could occupy and then...
Never end.
Just abandon it, I suppose?
Obey the great Orthodox.
Yeah, alright, you know what? Taking it away from our enemies, probably worthwhile. Plus, this lets us get one turn of friendly settlement replenishment here while we figure out the next plan. And who knows, maybe they won't actually stop us from continuing to push. So this is a small settlement. It has a terrible, terrible garrison and wall situation.
Hunger to slay.
I think I'm going to run through here and try to assault the garrison at least. Never mind. Can you mess with this army instead? You cannot. Okay. Well, the odds weren't very high. Speaking of odds that aren't very high. Oh, you know what? That's not so bad.
Kill.
I definitely thought that was going to be worse.
Good. But I am not sated yet.
Wow, that's actually like... Wow. That is a good follower, I feel like. Yeah, I was not expecting that to work at all, in fact. This I don't care about. Oh, right. The hero damaged the building. Mildly annoying. And I guess let's run one more sequence of enemy turns here before we call it for the day. But I think this has been quite productive. We gotta give somebody this chainsword. Probably give that to Falco, I guess. The thing is, Falco gets totally punked by so many enemies that it feels like giving Falco a weapon that you have to be in combat to really make any use of is just wasting it. But Iglixis literally can't wear it, and we're unlikely to have... I cannot remember her name for the life of me. We're unlikely to have the Slaanesh hero in that army just sit in combat for very long, because charging around with the chariot seems to be too valuable. So I guess really Falco's the only person it makes sense to put it on. Well, hopefully with a little bit of secrets from the future, Falco will be able to actually just sit in melee. Because gosh, it sure would be nice if we didn't always have to be microing that damn bird around. I'm a little worried. Maybe this is paranoia. But I'm a little worried that we see so many Kislev armies running off into other directions. Like, what are they doing? So at the beginning of the next Demon Prince roar thing, I think it is entirely possible that we will see some of the AI factions pull a fourth soul during the next cycle. So I know I'm thinking ahead a little bit here, but we are going to have to make sure that we are ready down on the planet, certainly once we get the notification that the bear is going to roar soon. Because we may need to go really, really fast in order to be the first ones to have a real shot at getting 4 souls. And even though I doubt that it is the case that you need to, that you immediately lose if any AI faction gets to 4, I'm sure there's some kind of, climactic battle that you get to interrupt or whatever. It seems like a hassle, right? Wouldn't it be better if we didn't have to? So I don't think we're close enough with Iglixis to make it to the Demon Prince this turn. I think we're gonna have to probably execute another little creeping maneuver. Oh man, I am not happy to see that demon army up where it is. Well, it'll probably be enough to run a lass over there. God, there are so many factions, so many armies in this world. Alright, nonsense factions are getting destroyed. Oh, never mind. Wait, didn't I see... Maybe I was looking at a different part of the map than I thought I was. I thought one of those Nurgle armies was approaching us from the east end. This is what I get for kind of only half paying attention. You know, since that is friendly, I think I'm probably just going to stay right here for a turn. Sorry, we're not actually supposed to be playing this turn, but I do, before we go, want to take a quick look at Iglixis' situation. Oh, actually, I guess it's going to be... Well, no, there's room to sneak by, I think.
I cannot be stopped.
Yeah, this stuff, it's hard to tell if this is pathable or not, because the reason it's giving us the red X is just that it's normally out of range. I sure would love to not have to fight before going in there, but it looks like we may in fact have to do that and then just sit out here and replenish, and that's certainly a bummer. What's the point of all these full replenishment things if you still have to replenish before fighting the boss? Anyway, that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we are claiming our third soul. It's going to happen. And then somehow we just have to keep the rest of the players from winning. How are we going to do that? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Come back next time to find out, I guess. And we'll see you then.